Hello, I'm Sonia Wood from Oikos, and today I'm going to tell you all about Red Book, which is LLATL Red Book, Learning Language Arts Through Literature. LLATL Red Book follows on from Blue Book. Blue Book is your teaching a child to read, presuming they haven't been able to read at all, starting right from the very beginning. Once they've completed Blue Book, they move on to Red Book. And Red Book continues to teach the reading process, but now starts to get them to a point of fluency with their reading. And it begins to introduce spelling and grammar and handwriting. In fact, down the side of the front cover here, you will see phonics, reading, spelling, grammar, vocabulary, handwriting, and higher order thinking skills. Right, this is the next book that comes as a set. From Red Book onwards, being Yellow Book, they don't come in as a packed set like blue and red do. So yellow, orange, purple, tan, green, grey and gold all come as parent book, student book and the readers that accompany that particular level. However, with blue and red, they come in a set, and the reason being is because they are more comprehensive programs in the fact that they're including phonics and teaching a child to actually read, whereas these books the child is already reading by this level. So let me open this and show you what is contained within your red set. First of all, you've got the wraparound cover, which just shows you on the back cover what's contained within the set, just for packaging purposes. You also just get this plain piece of white card, which you can use for your child to draw on, make a poster out of. And now we have the parent book, which Ruth Beechik has been involved in the putting together of this entire program and curriculum. So she knows what you need as a parent, and so do the authors of LLATL, because they were also home educating parents and specialists in the field of language. And so we can rest assured that this is a very well thought out and well put together program that is incredibly comprehensive, so much so that this is all you need when it comes to language, teaching language in your home. You don't need a variety of other things. What isn't necessary also is a whole lot of extra language resources, not necessary at all. I know I have many people giving me testimonies of how they used to use a variety of different resources for teaching language at home. And once they discovered LLATL, that's all they use now. And they're very satisfied that it is actually comprehensive and covering everything. Let me show you how comprehensive by showing you inside the red parent book. It is literally telling you, the parent, day by day, presuming that you don't know anything, and that's not an insult, it's just a helping hand, because the authors who wrote that thought, well, what are the parents going to know what to do day by day? So they have put here for you, day 4, and do the following, and given you actual instructions for that day, and here's day 5. So you can see there's very, very little preparation required for you. It's going to take you a couple of minutes to read what that day's lessons are going to be about. You might find that you do 2 lessons in a day. You might find one day takes a week. So please don't let the days govern your timetable with regard to how you go about teaching the Red Book with your child. Rather let your child's abilities and where they're at direct you as to how much time to spend with each lesson. Okay, so this is your Red Book. It is giving you a lot of instruction and help. At the very back of the book is a skills index, which helps you to know what skills are being developed and taught within each lesson that you're busy with. So that's a very handy little addition. And on the side here, it's also letting you know what materials you need and what the student needs to have fulfilled and accomplished, and the answers for any lessons that you yourself might not be sure about. It is all here in your parent book. So there you can see that to try and get a LLATL set and just get the student book isn't going to be very advisable, because the parent book is actually your teaching, where the teaching happens from, and the student book is their workbook that they're working in. They do happen alongside each other, so they are a companion pair, and there's a lot of parent involvement at this level. As the students go higher and higher up in the LLATL program, the parent involvement can become less, although we always encourage as much parent involvement as possible. So that is the Red Book parent book. The next thing you'll find in your pack is the little readers for your child to read, and that being these little readers. You will notice that with the blue book, the little readers there are for a real beginner reader. One is presuming they've completed reading all those books, and now they're moving on to these books, which have taken it a level up. So they're reading little stories in here. Still got a few little pictures on each page because of the level that is aimed at for the particular student using them. Each book has got a few stories in it. So let me show you the little readers that come with the pack. Let me show you this little book, Famous People. You'll see inside here it's starting to introduce them to biographies. The Storyteller, this of Hans Christian Andersen. The Plant Doctor, George Washington Carver. So it's about different people, famous people within this book. So it's an introduction into biographies here. Before I jump into showing you this wonderful hands-on activity student book, I just want to pause here for a moment because I have shown you the readers that come with the set. So now you know it's a parent book, a student book, and these readers. That's it. It's not like the blue book that's got all the cards and all the extra little readers. However, you're going to notice on the website that below the parent book, student book, and the pack, the actual set, the red book set, there's going to be a whole lot of optional extra readers. We call them optional for one reason only, and that is you might find that some of these readers you already have in your personal home library, or you might prefer to try and source them from a library. So basically, they're there as individually priced so that you can pick and choose from them which ones you would like to purchase. However, it must be understood that every one of them is used within the program, within the LLATL program. Let me show you about those extra readers. I am going to show you the readers in the order in which they appear on the website, and they are very specifically listed in this order because this is the order in which they appear within the lessons in the Red Book program. So the very first book that you are going to be called upon in your parent manual is going to tell you, read the story, A Tree is Nice to Your Child. You will then read the story, the parent note, not the child. This isn't a child's book, even though it's very elementary and it's, a child can manage to read it, but only after they have learnt reading fluency and they're around about the yellow book level, they will be able to now start reading these little picture books that you read to them while teaching them to read. Okay, so you are going to be called upon in your parent book, read this book to your child, and then there's going to be lessons pertaining to the story that are within their student book. All right, so this is the purpose of the optional extras, which actually are essentials, only optional because of you might maybe already got them or want to source them elsewhere. So they are all of these stories here, and they go in this order of which they appear in the lessons themselves. A Tree is Nice, Little Bear, Balto, The Fire Cat, The Oxcart Man, Corduroy, Little Island. Okay, and then after Little Island is Billy and Blaze, Harry the Dirty Dog, and Abraham Lincoln. Once again, all of these stories you are going to use within the program itself. If you have budget limits and so on, and you don't have the book Billy and Blaze, and the lesson comes up with, which includes lessons pertaining to this, you could supplement that with a different story and just work the lesson around it. But it's preferable not to do that because you could miss some elements that would be a pity to have lost that opportunity to teach the fullness of that particular lesson. I'm going to give you an example here in the student book. I said to you that once I'd shown you the readers, I will show you how the student book works. But before I go into the detail of it, I want to just stay with this topic of the importance of these extra readers. And that is, in this instance, your very first book you're going to read to your child is going to be A Tree is Nice. It'll tell you that in the parent book, this is the book you need, read the story to your child. Not far into the lesson, as you can see into the book, they're going to come across lessons within their workbook that pertain to this story that you read to them. And here they are. Here's the examples of the work they're going to do. Here's a picture of a tree. And so you'll see also now by this example that the workbook is laid out very child-friendly, in a child-friendly manner. It's not cluttered, it's not overwhelming. Some people say, oh, but it doesn't have color in it. And that's actually intentional because it's about the language lesson, not about it being a picture book. This is where the color comes in. is in these lovely picture books that you're reading to your child. And now this is the actual language lesson that they're busy with over here in their actual workbook. I'm just going to flip through the red book now, the student book, to show you how interactive it is. The children are going to cut out, stick, glue, color, and it is just a hands-on, very approachable student workbook for your children and for yourself. Some handwriting exercises over here. I could go into the details of what is covered as far as skills that are taught in this book, but I have shown you from the parent book that on the back page you've got in the back of the parent book you've got the skills index, which shows you very comprehensively all the skills that are taught throughout this particular program. Lastly, I'd like to show you the reading chart on the back page. And what happens with this is, as I explained to you, these little readers that the students get, within each reader is 6 short stories, like I showed you with the famous people. When a child has finished reading all 6 stories in that particular book, they then cut out that story, each story as they read it, out the back cover, and they stick that story onto their reading chart. And when they finish the book, they cut out the actual cover of the book there and they put it on their reading chart. So then once they've completed this red book, this chart will be full with all the stories that they have successfully read. Please bear in mind that they don't have to start at the beginning of the year and finish at the end. One child's going to take 18 months and another one might take 6 months, depending on the age of the child. If you need to know about where their skill level is at, to know which book to get them, the red or the blue or the yellow, you can do the skills assessment, the placement test, which is on the website. But you can be confident in knowing that by the time they've finished this red book, they would have read all of these stories, because that's the objective of the book, is to teach them to read and to have fluency in reading. And so their chart will be full with all the books that they have read, which means they will be ready to go on to yellow book, which is the next level up. And I'm going to show you that in another clip for the yellow book. So I hope that has helped you to see all that is involved with the red book, the whole set and those extra readers. And I really hope even more that you have a lot of fun with this program, that your children get to learn to love reading and enjoy reading and everything to do with language arts. Thank you for watching. Bye.